to those poor unfortunate souls.
Hello, happy Easter and happy spring. Welcome to Poor Unfortunate Podcast. I'm Connor Perkins.
And I'm Caroline Ameti.
Welcome to all of our returning listeners. It is great having you back here with us. And welcome to any new listeners. Thank you so much for hitting play. Please also remember to hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast. That way all of our episodes download to your device. You don't miss out on anything like these bonus episodes. And then everyone, once you get to the end of the episode, please make sure that you hit 5 stars, leave a written review or a comment wherever you're listening to the podcast. That way we're seen in search results. Your review, your comment could be the difference between someone passing us by or hitting play. So thank you so much for taking the time it takes to do that. Caroline, what are we doing today?
Well, it's our Easter bonus. So somehow we have found even more Disney Easter eggs for you all. I truly thought we had scraped the bottom of the barrel, but I guess they just never end. So we have a mixture of Easter eggs, little secret surprises for you from Disney parks, Disney movies, and maybe some other things too.
Yeah, so we've each got 5, so we'll have 10 new Easter eggs for you all together.
Yeah, somehow.
Somehow. All right, so I'm going to just go ahead and kick things right off. I'm going to start with a Disney movie. So this is one of those fun little Easter egg / hidden secret moments that most of us would never know about, even if we're staring right at it. The ancestors obviously play a big role in the fate of Mulan, but perhaps the people who play an even larger role in the character's fate are the animators themselves. When Mulan has left the matchmaker and returns home, she begins to sing Reflection. She makes her way through the Fog Gardens and into the temple of her ancestors. Inside the temple, she continues to sing to her own reflection in the headstones of her family. It's a really beautiful moment, actually, because she's just like surrounded by all these like polished stones and mirror images of herself. But if you look at the headstones, especially in the famous one wipe of the sleeve Neutrogena makeup removal wipe moment.
Yes.
There are ancient Chinese characters that are etched into these stones. And these characters are actually the names of the animators who worked on the film.
Oh.
So, which when you think of it, it's kind of like this beautiful meta moment that she is seeing reflections of herself in the very people who are creating her.
Oh.
I just think it's like really cool.
Wow.
And like
love it.
no one would know that. But now I'm like, that's like a really, really kind of profound moment.
I love that. Oh.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. Okay, let's do something that's not Disney films. Let's actually talk about something on a Disney Cruise Line ship.
Ooh, we all know how much Caroline loves Disney cruises.
I do.
Even though she's never been on them.
I somehow have landed on, I actually, this all happened by mistake, but I landed on this boat and nautical vibe for all of these Easter eggs for you. So we've got a light theme. I might stretch it at times. We'll be fine. But I want to talk about something that is just basically one giant Easter egg, and that is the Haunted Mansion parlor aboard the Disney Treasure. So the Disney Treasure first set sail in December 2024 with this first of its kind bar lounge on the ship. And so not only to fit the theme is this bar on a boat, but it's themed after a first-class drawing room on a classic cruise liner and is chock full of Easter eggs and secrets around the story of a sea captain and his fiancée. So I've grabbed it's like 3 to 4 little mini things to look for. Lots of fun things going on in there, but there are about 1 million if you go visit it. So the centerpiece of the parlor is the haunted fish tank, and it's topped with a fanged, tentacled sea creature statue. So this is actually an homage to the original development of the Haunted Mansion. Imagineer Raleigh Crump created concept art for what he called Aquarium with Ghost Fish, as the original Haunted Mansion and Museum of the Weird were being developed. Please see our episode Started from a Walkthrough, Now We're Here from season 1 if you want to hear.
Actually,
Please,
because we put so much work into that one.
We worked very hard on that episode.
I think it's one of our least listened to episodes, ironically.
But we worked really hard on it. So if you like the Haunted Mansion, you should definitely listen to that episode. But anyway, that idea is from the development of those attractions. And now it's finally real. And you can see skeleton ghost fish appear and disappear in the tank. And speaking of Raleigh Crump, there is actually a bust modeled after him in the parlor too. But the side of the bust's face appears to be melting off, which is a reference to another one of Raleigh's creations for the Museum of the Weird, the Candle Man, who was constantly in a state of melting. He is basically a melting candle. It is very weird.
That's so
very
cool.
Creepy. Yes. And the plaque under the bust reads, "Brother Roland, forever revered for embracing the weird." I think that's so special. I love it.
That's really cool.
Yes. And then a couple of teeny tiny things to look out for. Like I said, there's some other major Easter eggs in there, but if you ever go, look out for these things. There are blank sheet music papers on a shelf, but when the chorus of Grim Grinning Ghosts plays, as it does throughout the show period of this bar, the notes and lyrics to the song appear in glowing green light, playing along with the song. And there are tons more references and surprises related to favorites from the ride. Constance Hatchaway, the 13-hour clock, the Donald Duck chair, which is actually an Easter egg in and of itself in the ride, and more. But I don't want to give it all away this time, so maybe we'll talk about it some other time, or maybe you will experience it if you were lucky enough to go on the Disney Treasure.
Well, I want to go on the Disney Treasure now.
Me too.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a parks one, and this one actually is going to be from one of the parks that are overseas. So this Easter egg comes from the World of Frozen expansion of Hong Kong Disneyland that opened in 2023.
Fun.
Yeah, and so I'm curious to see whether this is something that will carry on through some of the other World of Frozens that we'll see, like if it'll appear in Paris as well. Many of us know that Frozen was inspired by Hans Christian Andersen's story of the Snow Queen. And Disney has, of course, adapted other Hans Christian Andersen stories, including The Little Mermaid, The Ugly Duckling, and The Little Match Girl. But additionally, Disney adapted another Andersen story within its film Fantasia 2000, and that is The Steadfast Tin Soldier.
Oh, right. Oh.
This story accompanies Russian composer Dmitri Shostakovich's Piano Concerto No. 2 and follows a tin soldier with one leg who falls in love with a toy ballerina and must make his way back to her after a jealous jack-in-a-box casts the soldier out of the home. Well, in one of the stores in Hong Kong's World of Frozen, TikTok Toys and Collectibles, you can see carved wooden statues of a ballerina and a one-legged toy soldier on either side of the store as an homage to Disney's adaptation of another Hans Christian Andersen story, The Steadfast Tin Soldier.
Oh my God.
Which is so cool to me because there's no representation of this anywhere.
Wait, we need to talk about that at some point because that breaks my heart. Oh my God.
I love that sequence.
I love it too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I haven't actually looked more into TikTok Toys, but I'm wondering if TikTok Toys, because I believe this takes place, this store is located underneath the clock tower, but I'm wondering if TikTok Toys has any allusions to TikTok Tale, the short film about the little squatty alarm clock with the personality that saves everyone, which I love that one too. There's so many shorts. We need to do more shorts.
Another shorts? Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, let's strap in for one that's a little mysterious, I would say. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this one. So this one has to do with Atlantis, the Lost Empire. So yeah, tying it into the nautical, boats, water. Yeah. We'll go with it.
Yeah, they sunk the whole damn city, so that's water.
There you go. So apparently, Ariana DeBose told Yahoo Entertainment that there is an Atlantis reference in Wish that has stumped fans for a while. So once she said that, people started looking for it, and I've heard of something that might be it that could be very subtle. I don't know if this is it, but I found this on Reddit and it's really interesting. So Ariana DeBose mentions a reference to Atlantis. So while the actual Easter egg might be more fleeting than this, I have to credit Inevitable Damage 406 on Reddit for this very detailed find. It may not be true or proven, but I find it really cool nonetheless. So there is an image with text about the Shepherd's Journal shown by Milo in Atlantis. And it has an illustration of a keeper of the journal on it. And the keeper of the journal wears a cream robe and a blue cloak with gold stars on it, just like Magnifico. In the illustration, the keeper of the journal is holding the journal, the shepherd's journal itself, which has the symbol of Atlantis on the front. The symbol for the kingdom of Rosas feels very much in the same vein. This one requires a little Google image search for reference, but it almost feels like the symbol of Rosas is based on Atlantis' symbol.
100%. Yeah, I know exactly the symbol. Yep.
And then the starburst with the M on it on the back of Magnifico's cape looks very similar to a sketch of the Atlantean crystal from the shepherd's journal. I have also seen folks on Reddit mention that the bugs that are part of the curse that protecting Magnifico's book feel very Atlantean, and I can definitely see that. So what could all of this mean? Reddit user Pirate Vigilante questions whether Magnifico's original home was maybe one of the victims of Atlantis' aggression as they were kind of fighting places in the Mediterranean. Maybe. But then I took a deep dive, and might be very tenuous, but interesting nonetheless. If you read the Disney Wiki on the Shepherd's Journal, it says around the year 1200, quote, the journal went unused for 200 years and was more or less forgotten. All that was known or handed down through spoken history was that the journal was a book of great power and possible evil, or so they thought, end quote.
Are they saying that it's Magnifico's book?
This, if you look up when Wish is supposed to take place, this would be around the time that Wish happens, and somehow it's in Magnifico's possession at that time. It's known to have evil magic. It feels plausible to me.
Whoa.
But that's not like even an Easter egg. That's a whole theory,
that's a conspiracy
world connector.
Theory, yeah.
That's a conspiracy. But yes, pull up. We'll link it for you all. You've got to look at this image that this Reddit user shared and like the comparisons between that and Wish, because it's definitely there.
That's
sure.
So interesting. I mean, I thought that you were going to say like the little Easter egg moment is kind of like the little stars that illuminate in their hearts, which kind of land at exactly the same place that the little crystals do.
The
for
crystals.
The citizens.
If you go to this Reddit thread, a lot of people are saying that. They're like the feeling of the crystals and the wishes. They were comparing all of the ways that those are similar, and it's true. It's very true.
Interesting.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, good for them for putting some respect on Atlantis.
I know. And Wish, too. You know what?
Yeah.
Put respect on them both.
All right. I am going to give you one from a film. And so this is in honor of the next Disney live action film. So this Easter egg is from Lilo and Stitch.
Ooh.
So there are tons of different Easter eggs all throughout the film, but there is one that if they recreate this scene in the live action film, I hope that they keep this Easter egg in. So after Lilo has adopted Stitch, she takes him around the island, picnicking, shopping in a little montage. And there's that iconic moment with the snow cones. A red sunglass-adorned Stitch is browsing through a postcard display outside a shop. And if you look at the bottom rung of the display, there's a postcard for Orlando with Cinderella Castle on it. And then shortly after, another dog starts sniffing Stitch's butt, and he shoves the snow cone on its head, and he chucks a handful of postcards at the dog. It's hilarious. But there are a couple reasons why I love this Easter egg. The first is that it is a reference to where the film was made. Lilo and Stitch was one of the last films animated at Disney's MGM Studios, now Disney's Hollywood Studios, in Orlando, Florida. So it's a little Easter egg of like, this is where we made the movie. So having, the Walt Disney World icon of Cinderella Castle and the city of Orlando included in the film, it's a nice nod. But the other reason why I love it is it reminds me of how absolutely wild we all were for Lilo and Stitch, because a few years after the release of the film, Stitch's Great Escape replaced Alien Encounter in Magic Kingdom in Disney World in 2004. And to celebrate, they did this whole event with Stitch taking over Walt Disney World, going so far as to TP Cinderella's castle and spray paint Stitch is King on the walls. And I remember seeing this in person. It was just so wild to me. So whenever I see Stitch with Cinderella Castle in this movie, it just like makes me think of that insane promotional decision.
Yeah.
And I pity anyone who went to Walt Disney World for the first time and arrived to a completely vandalized Cinderella Castle for all their scrapbook photos. But yeah, so that's a fun little Easter egg. It's just like a small one, but
Oh,
I'm like, if they recreate that scene, and I feel like they could recreate that scene because it's such a
yeah.
everyone knows that scene.
Yeah.
But I think for somehow, and as many times as I've seen it, I'm like, I don't think I ever really paid attention to the postcards because I was too busy looking at
Yeah.
Stitch, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. It's just a
Oh,
little
I
thing.
love that. Okay, let's hop back over to the parks. Let's talk about Tiana's Bayou Adventure. And this applies to the Walt Disney World one. I'm not sure if the queue is the same in Disneyland, but the pictures that I referenced are from Walt Disney World. So just like many other attractions that move into the homes of previous ones, Tiana's Bayou Adventure offers up several nods to its predecessor, Splash Mountain. So you can see this one when you enter the main entrance into Tiana's office. The shelf above her desk is covered in knickknacks, including figurines of a rabbit, a bear, and a fox, referencing the main characters from Splash Mountain. There's a frog, too. Now, that could be a nod to Brer Frog from Splash Mountain, for sure. But the frog is on top of a music box with the lyrics, "The sweetest story ever told," etched onto it. And this is a Bing Crosby song, but it's not a very well-known one. Like, I actually had to, really look far and wide to really find it. And we know that in a Disney park, every single choice is made on purpose. So in this song, Bing Crosby is basically singing about wanting the person he loves to say that she loves him too. This makes me think that the frog is supposed to be Tiana or Naveen, especially because it sits on top of the music box with a little riverboat figurine. Remember, Naveen wants to propose to Tiana on the riverboat. And there are 2 riverboat figurines on this shelf. So I think the other one to the left of the bear figurine represents the riverboat finale of Splash Mountain. And I think the boats connect the stories of the main characters of each ride, and that this is their little chance to just all hang out together.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, people think it's Brer Frog, but I'm pretty convinced that it's supposed to be Tiana or Naveen with that music box for sure.
I mean, based on the song, that sounds so Naveen to me.
Yeah.
Because that scene that takes place on the riverboat is him thinking about putting himself out there and wanting the person that he loves to love him back.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I kind of like that it works both ways too. Where it's like it could be Brer Frog, but it also could be both.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I'm convinced because I feel like, again, why 2 riverboats? I think it's supposed to be connecting the 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cute.
I like that. All right, I am going to give you another one from a movie. And this is one that actually connects one of Caroline's favorite films to one of my favorite films. So Caroline's favorite film, Alice in Wonderland, introduces us to a cast of
You
wacky
bastard.
and wild characters
I got excited.
when Alice tumbles down the rabbit hole into Wonderland. However, it seems that one of the citizens of Wonderland managed to escape back to London unbeknownst to Alice. Any thoughts on who that might be?
I don't know.
Well, despite traveling from a magical world to our own, they seem to have put down some roots in London, just maybe not with the best crew. So deep in the sewers of London, this character has taken up residence in a secret hideout belonging to the world's greatest criminal mind, Ratigan.
Oh my
As
gosh.
the sole amphibian, Bill the Lizard, resident of Wonderland, seems to have joined up with Ratigan's rodent henchmen. Previously, Bill the Lizard attempted to use his ladder and chimney sweep skills to help the White Rabbit and the Dodo remove the monster, Alice, from the White Rabbit's home. And in that scene, as Bill makes his way down the chimney, the soot causes giant Alice to sneeze and launch Bill out of the chimney into the sky and, I guess, right into our London. Because as Ratigan breaks into the OG villain song, The World's Greatest Criminal Mind, you can see sweet little chimney sweep lizard Bill singing, dancing, and toasting Ratigan with all of the ruffians. He is the only one that is not a mouse.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool. That's
It's like
a
same
fun
costume and everything.
one. Wow.
So, from your favorite movie to mine.
Those residents of Wonderland, though. Oh, God. Let's talk about another little cameo just like that one. This one might be a little bit simpler of an Easter egg that I feel like maybe it might be basic Disney fan knowledge, but I don't think I really knew this. And you can spot this one aboard Prince Eric's ship in The Little Mermaid. So during Eric's wedding to Vanessa on the ship's deck, you can see that the king and the Grand Duke from 1950's Cinderella are in attendance, looking shocked as Max rushes past in an attempt to stop the wedding. I feel like French nobles attending a Danish royal wedding makes sense, but you know that my brain was trying to come up with a fun backstory. I feel like the choice was made in reality because, their outfits match the aesthetic of the other wedding guests. It's just a little fun thing to do. Interestingly, their presence at this wedding does debunk this very much just for fun theory online that the king from Cinderella is actually Prince Eric, which I don't think had any legs anyway. So
Oh,
it doesn't really
God.
matter. But I kind of love just thinking about the fact that maybe the king is obsessed with love and weddings and will always attend one and encourage people to get married. But he would have had to travel pretty damn fast to make such a hastily arranged wedding, though. And I like thinking about how he managed that as well.
Maybe his
yeah.
fairy godmother. And he's like, get me there, baby.
Thank you. Now we're cooking. There we go.
He's like, Asha, get me there now.
Right. Yeah, I think he just loves love.
Yeah, he's just like,
I feel
sorry.
it.
And Prince Charming is like, listen, I need you here. And he's like, I'm sorry, I gotta go. I had got to hit this speedboat and get myself over to this place because there's a wedding and I'm not gonna miss the free food.
Uh,
All right, so my last one that I have for you, this is from the Disney parks. And so I am going to Walt Disney World with this one. So one of the attractions in Walt Disney World that is absolutely chock full of Easter eggs is the iconic Twilight Zone Tower of Terror in Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I'm not going to sit here and list all of the Easter eggs that can be found here because number one, there are so many. And number two, I kind of want to save some for future bonus episodes.
yeah, that's real.
That being said, I will give you a couple of my personal favorite Easter eggs that can be found within the lobby of the attraction before you enter the library for the pre-show. The library is insane with the amount of Easter eggs in that room, so I'm not going there right now. So the lobby of the Hollywood Tower Hotel, it's a work of art. The lobby furniture and decor is covered in dust and cobwebs. Papers have been yellowed. Metal has rusted and decayed. It's all period appropriate and even furniture that is from those designers from the period. Not
Oh,
replicas,
wow.
actual stuff.
Hmm.
And it is all designed to appear to have been frozen in time from when the elevator crashed on October 31st, 1939. And helping to reinforce this illusion, we have a couple of things. So if you look at all of the clocks in the lobby, you will notice that they are all stopped at 8:05 p.m., which is the time when the lightning struck the hotel and crashed the elevator.
Oh, cool.
You'll also see over to the side a small, roundish hexagonal table with 4 chairs and an unfinished game of mahjong, as if the guests who were playing fled and never returned or disappeared in some more mysterious way. And to me, this is totally giving me the vibes of the Pirates of the Caribbean chess match in the queue that's positioned for the skeletons to be in a perpetual stalemate. And this is now the unfinished game of mahjong.
Oh, wow.
Another Easter egg that you can find in the lobby is a direct tie-in to the Twilight Zone television series. On an easel behind the concierge desk is a poster advertising the current act playing at the Tip Top Club, Anthony Fremont and his orchestra. For Twilight Zone lovers, Anthony Fremont is a disturbed 6-year-old boy from the episode of the Twilight Zone called It's a Good Life, where he possesses godlike mental powers and controls his town in Ohio. And the only thing he hates is music. So naturally, he is conducting an orchestra
my
on
God.
the top floor of the Tower of Terror. And the last lobby Easter egg that I will call out is probably my favorite. And this has to do with the hotel directory. So at the point in the queue where guests split to the right and left of a podium for the library pre-show, there is a mounted letterboard in a glass case listing different rooms in the hotel and what floor they are found on. However, there are some letters missing and having fallen off of the directory they've landed onto a little ledge on the bottom of the case, like between the glass and like the felt where the letters stick.
Mhm.
And if you look down and look across the bottom ledge, they have collected and spell out, "Take the stairs."
Oh, wow.
And if you have enough time, like if you're stuck in this spot and you look at all of the missing letters that are from the board and you write them down and then you unscramble them, flipping a W to an M in the process, there is a secret message that reads, "Evil Tower, you are doomed." Isn't that so cool?
Oh, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wild.
oh my God. Great. You shared that with me and now I don't have to see it myself. So that's just
No, you
actually
have to see it.
awesome.
Well, no, you can, honestly though,
Chicken out.
have
after
you
I
never
do the
been
cue.
in?
No, I never have.
You should go in and
I
then
know.
take the chicken exit.
I don't trust anyone enough who's not going to like keep dragging me on the ride when I try to go out the chicken exit. Yeah, you know that you would do that.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
when I
to,
go alone. When I go alone, I'll do that.
you know what? There is a way that we can, I won't do it.
Sure.
I won't do it. I'll get you there and then I'll be like, "Caroline, do you want to come on with me?" And then you can make the decision. And if you still want to chicken out after we waited in line and made it all the way up to the elevator, you can.
Oh my God, my heart is racing. I'm not even.
But then you have to
kidding.
buy me a snack.
I gladly will, because God, my heart rate. We're safe. We're not at the Tower of Terror. It's okay.
But you need to go inside because the Tower of Terror, it's
I do.
stunning.
I know
It's
I
like
do.
the storytelling of that place.
And it's
is
such a
insane.
shame because I was going to say the storytelling and the spooky vibes are just everything that
It's
I
everything
love.
for you.
Oh,
But
man.
it's just a frog hopper.
It's not a frog hopper.
All right, so that's my last Easter egg for you. Hit me with your last one.
I will. So we're back to the Disney Cruise Line. Okay, so aboard the Disney Wish, which first set sail with the Disney Cruise Line fleet in 2022, you will find Hook's Barbery, an upscale grooming salon that offers haircuts, hot shaves, beard trims, manicures, pedicures, and facials. It's themed to look like Captain Hook's private quarters aboard the Jolly Roger. It's filled with lots of Easter eggy trinkets like small crocodile figurines and pocket watches throughout. But here are two super fun little surprises in the space. On one knickknack shelf that also houses a lantern, books, etc., there is a miniature barber chair with a crown insignia on it that is definitely in the style of the Princess and the Frog. I cannot find any info anywhere on why this would be, but the chair is definitely the perfect size for a frog. Why is Naveen likely being referenced here? I have to know.
What?
Why? And I can't find anything about it anywhere. Isn't that weird?
Wait.
What does it mean? Like, that ship has the bayou, like the Princess and
Yeah.
the Frog themed bar. So it could just be that, I guess. But I'm like, on a frog-sized barber chair?
That's
I
such
don't
a
know.
choice.
It is such a choice. That's what they like we always say. They never do anything by mistake in Disney. So what is this?
I'm trying to think. I'm like, no, the frogs don't. I'm like, even if
Frogs don't need barbers. Like,
they
you
don't.
can't shave a frog. Which is maybe it's literally just to get us to laugh about the fact that frogs don't need barbers. I don't know. I don't know.
And the only one from Princess and the Frog who actually would need a shave would be like Lawrence with his mutton
Right.
chops. And I'm like, does he
Right.
turn into a frog at the end? But he doesn't.
No.
If he turned into a frog with mutton chops, then that could be like a fun thing. Because then it's
Right.
like Captain Hook, Lawrence, who's like a villain
Uh-huh.
sidekick sort of thing. So then it would like make sense. But that's so strange.
I need somebody to go, and I need someone to ask a cast member. I need it. I have to know. It's captivated my imagination.
Wow. That's weird.
Yeah, it is a weird one.
I dig it, but it's weird.
Me too. But I think the coolest part of Hook's Barbery is definitely this little hidden secret. There are wooden doors with the map of Neverland painted on them. And from 5 to 8 p.m., they open to reveal a tiny speakeasy counter specializing in bourbon, whiskey, and rye. The bartender could even walk you through a make-your-own old-fashioned experience. And you don't have to be scheduled for a service to visit the bar. You just kind of stop in.
Whoa, that's cool.
Had never heard of this before in my life. So cool. But this whole thing that I've done has been a little Easter egg.
Oh, my God. Of course.
No. I'm going on a 4-night Disney cruise.
Bitch. Really?
Yeah. We literally booked it yesterday.
Oh. I want to go.
Listen, come fucking with.
Where's it departing from?
From Florida.
Oh. Wait. This sucks. It's the worst episode ever.
I'm sorry. But all of that to say.
You're going on Tower of Terror now.
Fine. But all that to say, I am going on the Wish, so you better bet your ass I'm going to Hooks Barbary and asking them what the fuck that chair is. So I will report back and let you all know.
You have to. Oh, yeah.
I'm going to. It's captivated my mind. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. You're going to go on a fucking cruise. I hate you.
I'm so sorry.
And then we're going to have to do a whole, debrief moment of it all.
I'm
Son of
sorry.
a bitch.
I will say this, in the meantime, if any of you are experienced cruisers, I was surprised. I've got it under control now, but I needed a minute to kind of figure everything out. So, hey, if anybody's got any cruise tips, please let me know. But yeah, that's why I did boats. He's gonna kill me.
I'm not about that. All right. Well, that is our Easter egg bonus episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you hit follow or subscribe wherever you're listening to the podcast. That way these episodes download to your device and you don't miss out on anything. And then now is the time, for my sake of my poor broken little heart, please leave a 5-star rating and a written review or comment wherever you're listening to the podcast. It means so much to me in these trying times.
Also, please follow us on social media. We are at Poor Unfortunate Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, Blue Sky, all of those places. Please comment on our posts on the episodes. Again, like we talked about at the beginning, it really helps us get seen by new people and keep spreading the Poor Unfortunate Podcast love. And if you want even more Poor Unfortunate Podcast in your life, please join our private Facebook group, the Poor Unfortunate Fam, so that we can talk more about what you love about the podcast. And it's also just a great way for Connor and I to find out who's listening, find out what you're interested in, and just create a nice little community in our own little corner of the internet while everything else burns.
Absolutely.
So we hope to see you there.
If you're looking for merch, we do have merch available to you in the Poor Unfortunate shop. It is open now. PoorUnfortunatePodcast.com/shop. You can check out the stuff that we have there. And we have more coming soon.
We do.
Down the pike.
Oh my goodness.
And as I always say, it does take us a little bit of money to keep the podcast up and running and coming to you. We do have a PayPal account. It is linked in the episode description and in our website links and our social media accounts. Truly, anything you have to spare goes a long way for us. $1, $5, $10, more than that. It could be a one-time donation. It could be a monthly donation. It all just goes right back into the podcast, helping us keep it free and ad-free for the most part. To all of our monthly donors, thank you so much. We would not be able to do this without you.
Thank you.
I said this in the last episode, and I'll say it again here. If there has ever been a time where you've been considering donating, now is the time, because we have some really, really big plans for the podcast that are taking a little bit of a financial push. And I think they're going to be things that are going to take us to the next level and hopefully enrich your experience of the podcast. So anything that you have to spare really is going to go a long way for us. Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for us. Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy
spring.
Easter. Yay.
I hope that you get to, enjoy. I hope the weather's nice. I hope you get to enjoy some time outside and relax and feel the sunshine and all that good
Eat
stuff.
a little chocolate. Eat a jelly
Yeah.
bean. Yeah.
Eat a jelly bean.
Eat a jelly bean, will ya?
Oh my God. All right. Well, until next time.
Beluga Savruga.